Good morning and good evening, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. So, Ultimate Big Data Engineering is the course that is going to be taking a minimum 3 to 6 months of time, and we are going to be covering a lot of Azure fundamentals, data factory as an ETL tool, and Databricks and PySpark and Synapses. Along with that, we're going to be covering a lot of other modules, right? So any graduate, any age, at any time you can learn this course, but it is going to be having a coding. If you wanted to, go into the IT industry with coding means you can go and join data engineering. But if you don't like the coding means, I strongly recommend you can join my data analytics course. So where low coding, no coding program is with the data analytics. Data engineering is completely medium level of coding. You need to do it. So that is what is the requirement. So today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking about complete roadmap and complete, what is data engineering, what is Apache Spark, what is Hadoop, everything I'm going to be covering. So Go Online Trainings and Consultancy started almost 15 years ago in Hyderabad. My name is Mr. Bhaskar Jogi, and I have almost, having 25 years of experience in the IT industry. I have started my career in Bangalore in year 2000. So I was a C developer at that time. After that, moved on to BI stack in year 2004, business intelligence and data analytics and SQL stack. After that, moved on to data analytics and big data engineering. That is what is my whole career completely into data side, not into the front end developments. So I love, teaching. I'm passionate about the training. That is the reason I'm here today. I worked for many MNCs like Accenture, Patni Computers, Infosys, Cognizant, Capgemini, Microsoft, Hyderabad as well. So currently, I'm not doing any full-time, co-working, but I do lot of, project support and lot of consulting assignments from Dubai and lot of, ES assignments I'm handling with the big data side as well as data analytics side. So my career completed towards data side. I love teaching data courses, data-oriented technologies. Now, so we are going to be offering four courses. So one is called Data Analytics using Power BI. This is 3 months course. Big Data Engineering using Azure. You need to have one cloud, either Azure or AWS. I'm going to be giving you Azure fundamentals, and I'm going to be using Azure here. And data science or Gen AI is the next course we are offering. The fourth one is called a full stack Python for the freshers. These are the four modules Go Online Trainings is going to be offering. So always I say skill is permanent. So that is important. Invest in skills, not in the courses, right? So guys, these are the four courses that we're going to be offering. So Gen AI is recently started. Earlier, people were talking about data science and AI and ML, but the people are not talking about only AI and ML today. People are talking about Gen AI, and 2018, 2020 onwards, Gen AI is giving a lot of opportunities in the world. But AI or BI, if you wanted to use, definitely you wanted to have a large amount of data. Now that is the reason your data engineering or big data engineering is going to be emerging. Next 5 years, 130% of the opportunities are available because day by day you are generating more and more data. If you supply more data to AI or BI, it is going to be giving a lot of insights, right? AI without a data cannot work. Even business intelligence or data analytics also without a data, it is not going to work. 130% opportunities towards data next 5 years, right? So data analytics using Power BI 3 months course daily 1 hour. Any graduate can learn at any age. No coding, low coding software course. It is BA, BCom, BSc, BTech, civil engineering, mechanical engineering. Anybody, if you have 10 years of a gap also, people can learn this course and get into data analytics using Power BI and data engineering using Azure 6 months validity. And any graduate can learn this course as well, but medium level of coding. And in this, we're going to be having SQL and Python not Python full stack, Python basic 30 to 40 days of Python language is required, and minimum 30 to 50 hours or 30 to 60 hours of SQL is required. That is the data engineering. The last one is Gen AI. So this is daily 1 hour class, and 12 months is the duration for this course. Gen AI 2020 onwards, that is emerging technology. If you wanted to go towards Gen AI, Dr. Venkat is the faculty. He's having 18 years of experience in the IT industry. Currently, he's taking Gen AI with us. Okay, so the first two modules, data analytics and data engineering, for that, I'm going to be the faculty. And data analytics will be 3 to 6 months course, even though we say 3 months, but another 2, 3 months we are going to be working on the projects, right? So data engineering also, it will be minimum 3 months. The syllabus may get over within 3 to 4 months, but afterwards you have to practice and interview. The support like the interview questions, projects we're going to be covering, and mock interviews also we're going to be planning for you. So this is these are the courses that we are going to be offering right away for the market, guys. For the freshers, we're offering full stack Python 6 months course it is. Now, this is the guy from bank manager to data engineer recently got. Not only this guy, many other people also got it. And this guy got, I think 3.5 to 4 years of experience, 19.5 lakh salary package. Chennai, what Chusa, he got the job offer. And Akshay from Pune also got one more offer. 2012 BTech mechanical passed out. He got into data analytics first. Then after that, got 1.5 year back, he got a job in data analytics with I think 23 lakh salary package. He got it, and now he has taken the videos and he got a job with another company, 30 lakhs. Akshay from Pune recently also got a job, right? So this is my direct number. If you have any questions anytime, you can write a mail to me, or you can also call me on this number 991 991 9452. It is my official number. You can just make a note of this number, guys. Okay. So agenda for today's class is what is a data, history about data, what is data warehousing, what is a big data, and what is on-premises versus cloud, and what are the cloud technologies like Azure, AWS, and GCP, and what is ADF. So ADF is an ATL tool. Even though we have a lot of ETL tools like SSIS, Informatica, Data Stage, Pentaho, why we need to use a tools like ADF, Azure Data Factory, and what is big data, what is ADB, Azure Databricks, and what is Apache Spark, and what is the importance of the big data, and why big data is creating a lot of opportunities. That is what we're going to be understanding today, and different types of the clouds. That is also well discussed. And if the time permits, what is the data engineering, what is data analytics, and what is the Gen AI, everything I'll be talking about today and tomorrow with the same time with the same meeting ID, guys. Clear? If you have any questions after the class, you can talk to me directly, or you can ask me questions in this class as well. Daily recorded videos we're going to be providing. So if you miss any class also, you should not be worried. Saturday, Sunday, I don't take any classes. We are going to be having classes from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday completely a revision, and you need to do more practice. So no classes on any Saturday or any Sunday, and public holidays as well. Daily recorded videos I'm going to be providing, and 6 months is the validity. If you wanted to extend after 6 months, you can continue extend for 6 more months by paying only portal charges, some 200 rupees or 300 rupees per month or the quarter. So that you will need to pay after 6 months. By default, the validity for this course will be 6 months duration, guys. So daily recorded videos will be uploaded. So, and you can watch them anytime, right? If you have any questions, you have my number, you will be able to call me. Sir, this is the question I have. So I wanted to share the screen, means anytime you're welcome. So I'll be free after 11 o'clock in the morning, evening till 5 o'clock, I'll be free. But if you wanted to connect me any other timing, you can just call me on this number or ping me on this number, WhatsApp me, so that I can still connect and troubleshoot your issues, guys. Chalo. So prerequisite, you need to have SQL and Python, and anyone can learn this course, but you need to love coding. Hot skill and high salary paid packages, and ADF, Azure Data Factory, 40 hours to 45 hours we're going to be having, and ADB will be also 40 to 50 hours, will be Monday to Friday classes, daily recorded videos and real-time topics and mock interviews, everything I'm going to be planning for you guys. And sample CVs and CV preparation, online lab support, interview questions are going to be discussed. Most of the questions are from the my class. You need not prepare anything else. So placement assistance means I can give you the job placement assistance, creating a CV, mock interviews, but I cannot give you the proxy support and backdoor entries. All of them, it is completely banned. We don't provide proxies and backdoor entries. Don't ask me that as well. But remaining, apart from that, if you ask me something, I will be able to help you guys. Okay. Now, what is the roadmap for the data engineering? So, SQL Server. So many, interviewers are going to be starting your interview with the SQL. If you know basics of SQL, that is not sufficient. You cannot crack bigger interviews. If you keep a minimum 3 to 5 years of experience, people will ask you a lot of questions from the SQL level. I'm going to be covering, in depth of SQL coverage will be there. 60 hours or more than that. I'm going to be covering as part of SQL and basic Python, 30 hours of Python lists and, the pandas and everything, arrays, everything you need to know. Not, full stack of Python we're talking about, that is 6 months course. Basic 30, 40 hours of Python is required. So that is what we are going to be offering as part of this program. And Linux commands you need to know, and especially for the big data or Databricks is going to be having a lot of Unix and Linux commands and cloud Azure fundamentals. I'm going to be using Azure here, but you can learn any cloud, maybe GCP or maybe AWS. One cloud you have to know. I'm going to be using Azure cloud here. So we'll be talking about Azure Data Factory, Azure Key Vault, Azure Data Lake, Blob, Azure SQL, pipelines, DevOps activities. I'm going to be having Azure CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, Azure Databricks, nothing but your Apache Spark, big data environments, Azure Synapse for your BI and data warehousing workloads purpose. Data warehousing, I'm going to be covering in depth of data warehousing concepts. What is a dimension? What is a fact? What is star schema, snowflake schema? What is a normalization, denormalization? What is a junk dimension? What is a role playing dimension? All these things you need to know as a data engineer. And we're going to be processing the batch data, OLAP data, as well as the streaming data, that is live data. All these things will be, implemented next 3 to maximum 4 months of time. Afterwards, you need to revise and appear for the interviews. So keep minimum 3 to 6 months time. So daily 2 hours of practice is needed. Any basic computer with 4 GB of RAM and minimum 256 GB of hard disk, any simple computer you can buy it. So only thing is that you have to install SQL Server and Python and Azure purpose and big data purpose. We are not going to be installing anything locally in your computer, but SQL Server locally we're going to be installing, even though you can learn Azure SQL, but which is going to be paid service, right? So unnecessarily, if you're practicing anything in Azure, Azure will be free for 30 days. Afterwards, if you're creating a database, working with the SQL means you need to pay amount, and I don't recommend to go into the paid version of Azure SQL. I'm going to be giving you the software for SQL Server. Only this software we need to install. Day after tomorrow, I'm going to be showing how to install SQL Server, and then we'll continue with the remaining topics, guys. Chalo. If you have any questions, you can ask me in this record. And so, what is a cloud and what is a use case? Everything I'll be able to talk about now. Now, as we discussed already, it is completely having a lot of opportunities in IT sector. Only thing is that you need to practice more and more SQL and Python. And SQL, we don't have a live classes. We're going to be providing SQL videos and Python videos. SQL videos by me, Python by one more faculty I'm going to be giving. And remaining things I'm going to be taking. Azure Synapse is also one more senior faculty. Only 10 hours of videos will be given by this. So this is one more faculty. So Azure Synapses and the basic Python. This is also by one more faculty. So remaining things I'm going to be covering. So data warehouse I'll be taking. Remaining things I'll be taking. But this and Azure Synapses, this 10, this 30, this 10 hours will be given by this. And I'm going to be giving you SQL Server videos for the practice. Even Python is also, through videos only. And even Azure Synapses, we don't have the live classes through videos, but remaining things we are going to be having through live classes. Okay. So that is what I wanted to tell you guys. And so daily 1 hour class will be there. So let me just jump into this. Now, as I told you, if you're able to fill the form, I have given you one form to fill. So this form link I have given in the chat window. So choose data engineering, write your full name, your email ID, and phone number and location, city or the village. Click on submit. So this form is needed to send daily recorded videos. If you're not able to send the information there, means at least you can send me your name and email ID. Mention your course name is Azure Data Engineering and send me the WhatsApp message. Okay. So as we know already, information technology, IT industry, IT stands for the information technology. What is the core element or what is the core functionality of IT industry? You ask anybody, they'll say it is going to be producing a software, right? IT industry is not good producing a software. The IT industry core functionality is it is going to store your data. It is going to store your data. That is one core functionality of IT industry. The next one is that it is going to be computing your data. Computing means what? It is going to be processing your data. IT industry is not going to prepare a software. That is not the core functionality. So it is going to be working only with the data. That is the reason I stands for information technology. Information can be derived using a data. But IT industry is going to store your data. IT industry is going to process or compute your data. So for example, if I have data called 10 and 20, 30, I have a large amount of data. I have it. IT industry is going to use a software called SQL software. Clear? Or it is also called as a RDBMS or database management system software. So if you wanted to store the data, I'm talking about a large amount of data. Clear? So if you have at least GBs of data, IT industry is going to be storing the data in a SQL. But once you store the data here, so they wanted to retrieve the data and we are going to be computing or processing the data. So processing means computing means I wanted to perform a summing operations. What is the total of these two numbers? 30. I wanted to know what is the average. I wanted to know what is the minimum. I wanted to have what is the maximum. I wanted to find out mode, median. I wanted to count these numbers. I wanted to sort the data. So lot of operations I wanted to do it on the data. For the this is what is called computing, processing. In this purpose, we use a language. Clear? So you may learn C or C++, Java, .NET, Python. Any language is going to be used to process or to compute your data, right? So language is going to be used. So similar way, however, you're using a calculator. So what you do, calculator is not going to store your data. Language is not going to store your data. You cannot ask a Python, hey Python, store my Aadhaar card data. It cannot store. Hey, C language, store my Aadhaar card data. C language cannot do that. C language, Python, any language, when you input the data to the language, you take a calculator, try to input the data, it will give you result. Clear? So when you have so much of a data, IT industry trying to use large amount of data in the SQL or called as a database management systems. So what is this in data I'm talking about here? GBs of data. If you have less amount of data, for example, Go Online Trainings, my company, I'm going to be getting KBs of data every month. So daily, 200 inquiries will get it. So, or monthly, 1,000, 2,000, or 10,000 inquiries we're going to be getting it. So my data is very small amount of data. That data I will be able to store in a file, maybe CSV file, or normally we're going to be using Excel files. Clear? When the data size is smaller, so the companies, my company data size is smaller. I'm going to be using data in the KBs and megis. I use Excel sheets, right? But the companies like Amazon.com, BigBazaar.com, Reliance Mart or Walmart company, they will get daily 100, 200, 300, GB of data weekly, monthly. So it is a medium sized data we are talking about. That kind of a data will be stored in SQL or called as RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So this is the next thing that IT industry invented. Files are there in 1960 onwards, but afterwards, people had to invent one more software because files cannot store 100% data, availability, data safety, data retrieval, and data correctness. A lot of things files cannot, give you the support. That is the reason in 1970, IT industry invented a sophisticated software or a technology called RDBM as a software or SQL software. So this invention, SQL invention is done by IBM company in the US in 1970s. Before that, everybody storing their data in the files, maybe text files, CSV files, MS Word document, any other documents. Clear? So after 10 years, with the help of IBM, we are able to store all the data. Now, talking about Amazon company's data, thinking about any big company's data, GBs of data means it will be there in SQL or RDBMS. But slowly thinking about a company like State Bank of India, so or Amazon.com, every month, or if they get every month 500 GB of data per month, the Amazon company or State Bank of India is getting. So 12 months of data is equivalent to 6,000 GB of data. It is 1 year data equivalent to 6 terabytes of data. Slowly, the GB of data of the company will be turning into terabytes of data after 1 year. 2 years, it will become 12 bytes. If you're talking about the next 10 years of data, it will become 60 terabytes of data. Slowly, we are talking about this much of a data. Where to store this much of a data? We are going to be using one more device called data warehouse. Clear? So we are talking about terabytes of data now. We are talking about terabytes of data now. Small data. Small data means the KBS. We can use a file, and medium-sized data. We're talking about SQL, RDBMS. We can use, and terabytes of data means a specialized software is invented. It is 1970s, 1960. It is invented in 1990. That means IT industry is taking a lot of time to get so much of a data because hardware is not so cheaper at that time. Social media was also not there 1990s, and even hardware was costly. Internet was not there properly. So lot of reasons the data size was not growing. 1970s when IT industry invented SQL, they took again 20 years to invent a data warehouse, because data warehouse means a go down. It is a bigger computer. It is a bigger computer where it can store terabytes of data. Clear? If somebody asks you what is a data warehouse is also one computer, bigger computer, but inside that, what software we are going to be giving? Same SQL. SQL you need to install. Only thing is that the hardware is bigger, right? In my laptop, I have 1 terabyte of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM. If I install SQL software, maximum I can store 1 terabyte of data. Why? The hard disk capacity is 1 terabyte. But if I buy a computer with 100 terabyte of hard disk, and 100 GB of RAM and 20 or 30 or 100 processors. Inside, I still install SQL. So that is what is called as a data warehouse. So data warehouse, the software wise SQL only, but large hardware and large hardware plus SQL, you are going to be having it. SQL means any RDBMS software. That is what we're going to be having it. Clear? So, if you wanted to go into front end side, you can go and learn C, C++, Java, .NET. But the people are not going to go and learn, front end technologies today. And the front end will be, rapidly changing and more donkey work and less salaries and more technologies you're going to be learning. So that is the reason I strongly recommend you can jump towards data oriented data storing and retrieving. So you can work towards SQL, or you can work towards data warehousing. Clear? So 1960s, 1970s, 1990s, we have a data warehousing. But after year 2000, so what is happened? Let me erase this. Let me erase. So what is happened after year 2000? So we got lot many other things. So small amount of data means files. I'm talking about KBs of data, megabyte of data. This is small data. So this is there since IT industry is started. 1960s onwards, we have a C language, C++ language. So you can say 1960s onwards it is there when the IT industry started. Then SQL or SQL is invented. It is also called as a RDBMS database. It is started in GBs of data you can store. It is launched in 1970s for the medium size data. Clear? The next one, even more bigger, when you have a terabytes of data. So normal uh, computer with SQL cannot be used. Large hardware. That means you need to have bigger computer you need to buy, and SQL software, RDBMS software you need to install. So large data. Large means here I'm talking about terabyte of data. 1990s this invention was done. Clear? So it took almost 20 years to get the invention because people are not able to get so much of a data because hardware was costly, premium hardware, no social media was there, and no networking, and the people does not use phones and lot of other things. But after year 2000, what is happened in year 2000? Big data era is started. Remember, after year 2000, big data era is started. So big data means what I'm talking about, more than terabyte of data. Clear? Why big data array started? Because social media is launched a lot of things. In 2002, 2003, Orkut started. Orkut is the first social media. I have used it in 2002 and 3, and 2006 and Facebook is launched. So social media launched because internet is available all over the world. Internet is slowly 1G, 2G, 3G is launched, and people started using hardware like mobile phones, hardware computers, phones. Lots of other devices became so cheaper, and the smartphones have been launched by year 2000 and 8 by I think Apple. So lot of new things got evolved year 2000 onwards. Year 2000 where the big data is started. So more than this kind of a data is called as a big data. This word introduced by Google company in year 2003, right? Google company was number one, search engine. It is launched in, I think 1995 or 1996. But Google was getting a large amount of search and lot of big data people were trying to give, but IT industry is not ready either to store the data, this big data, because IT industry was ready only with the data warehouse. That's it. And IT industry was not ready to this big data. So, the first issue is that how to store the data and where to store the data. So that is the first issue. Now, if you wanted to store big data, we need to have some kind of a software. So what kind of a data we're talking about here? Here, not only we're talking about a structured data. Structured means rows and columns. So All these are completely, we're talking about structured data here. So no other data. So what is the meaning of this? We can create a table and store the data. We can create a table and store the data. You can also create a tables and store the data. So all the earlier, the IT industry completely focusing on the structured data. But after year 2000, when the big data era starts, it is getting structured data and unstructured data also. People are getting it. What do you mean by unstructured data? Kind of a binary data, audio data, video data, right? And images, lot of sounds, lot of chart data, lot of data it is able to bring. These areas where we will not be able to, focus on unstructured data completely. These are focusing on, structured data. Big data means not only structured data, but also unstructured data. And the machines are going to be giving you lot of semi-structured data. So unstructured data, you give audio file, video file, image file. Semi-structured data means a lot of XML data, lot of JSON file data. These are not human beings, data. It is data which is going to be stored by the machines, computers. Clear? XML, extensible markup language, JSON, JavaScript annotation. These are going to be storing the data. Human beings may use Excel file, PDF file, MS Word, but machines will not use MS Word file to store the data. Machine will not use CSV file to store the data. Machines are going to be storing the data in their own convenient files, that is XML files and JSON files. These are semi-structured data, right? So if you wanted to store this kind of a data, IT industry was not ready that time. And in 2003, the big data, concept released by Google, but Google has launched a paper saying that big data, this is the data we having. Either it could be this kind of a data, and sizes also. They were mentioning it is a petabyte of data, zettabyte of data, yottabyte of data, and so on and so forth. Clear? So we have unlimited data. How to store? So what are the problems with the big data? How to store and retrieve the data? A bigger paper being published by Google company in 2003. Using this, paper, there is a organization called Apache Software Foundation is launched or released a software called Big Data Hadoop in year 2006. Clear? If you wanted to, address the problem, first you don't have anything to store the data. First, I should store the data. So Hadoop is a software which is released by Apache Software Foundation. Apache is not a commercial or company. It is not going to be taking any money from you. It is a charitable organization. Okay, open source, programs it is going to be giving. So Hadoop is a free software. If you wanted to store large amount of data, Hadoop can be installed. Only you need to buy hardware. Software free. Hadoop is a free software released by year 2006. Why Hadoop we need to use? Because data warehousing data can store up to terabytes of data. What is the maximum data wise we can store in data warehouse today? Maximum today 100 terabyte of data only. 20 years back, average size was only 14 terabytes you can store. Somebody gives you 1000 terabyte. Somebody gives you 1000 terabyte. Can you store in data warehousing? No. Because one capacity, even today I'm talking about 100 terabytes only it can store. Because otherwise, if you put 200, 300, the server will crash or it will not work at all. Performance issues will come. Even though we're talking about terabytes, 20 years back only the capacity was 14 terabyte. So today, because of hardware and technology, we can store this much. If somebody gives you 1000 terabyte, means it is 1 petabyte. So how many data wares you can get? You can get 10 data warehousing machines you need to buy. If somebody gives you daily 1 petabyte of data, do you think that data warehousing can be implemented in in your company? Answer is no. If somebody gives you daily or weekly 1 petabyte, means daily you need to buy 10 data warehousing. Every week you need to buy 10 data warehousing. install and give it. So that is not the case. Data warehouse will be there. If you're getting every month 500 GB of data and 1 year data will be, let us say, 6 terabytes of data. 10 years, it will become, 60 terabytes of data. If you're getting that kind of a data, then we can talk about data warehousing. You can implement over 20 years. You need one data warehouse. Clear? But now here we're talking about every day you're getting 1 petabyte, 2 petabyte, 3 petabyte of data. Even though for the structured data, you cannot use your data warehouse. Clear? Now you have to jump into big data. So that is the size I'm talking about. If somebody gives you today, let us say 5 petabyte of data, there is no other way. You cannot do it in the data warehouse, because data warehouse means one hardware this much. Clear? So this is the region Hadoop can store the data, and Hadoop also can process the data, because end of the day, only not only storing, you need to process and give you lot of reportings and everything. But it has having lot of issues. So that is the reason immediately Apache company has released one more software in 2009. The software name is called Apache Spark. Clear? So, like that, we have today thousands of big data softwares. Clear? Some of them are paid softwares, some of them are free softwares. So not only Hadoop, Apache Spark, Apache Flink, Apache Storm, lot of them from the Apache software, organization, which is a charitable organization, free. So today we have plenty. So Microsoft has HD Insight, and your Amazon has ERP or EMR, right? So different companies have different big data. So Amazon's EMR is Amazon company big data software. Microsoft big data software is HD Insight. Clear? Cloudera, lot many software, but these are all commercial softwares. Hadoop and the Spark is going to be your free softwares. Clear? So today, most of the data the companies are going to be storing in the files, maybe in SQL or the database, maybe in data warehousing, maybe in Hadoop. So this is what is called a big data, means this data is called as a small data. Clear? It is small data. This is only big data we are talking about. Today, you take the data from here, you take the data from here, you take the data from here, or you may be taking the data from here. You are running the data with AI and BI. Clear? Two applications are going to be using your data. One is called artificial intelligence. The second one is called business intelligence. Business intelligence is also called as a data analytics. అర్థమవుతుందా? Business intelligence is also called as a data analytics. So you may be having the data in Hadoop and Spark. You can perform data analytics, or you can perform the data analytics here, or you can also perform the data analytics. Or if you have a simple Excel sheet, you can create a lot of reports and create a lot of data analytics. Clear? Data analytics means, business intelligence means understanding a past. Somebody asks you, what is data analytics? Understanding the past is called as a data analytics. Amazon company wanted to know what was my sales last 5 years in India. So it is understanding past. Amazon company wanted to know last 5 Ramadan sales in South India, last 5 Diwali sales in North India, last 5 years, latest Apple iPhone sales in North India versus South India. So understanding the past is called as a data analytics. Data analytics needs a data. Data may be there in Excel sheets, maybe there in CSV files, maybe there in SQL data warehouse, or even your Apache Hadoop. The people will say big data analytics. What do you mean by big data analytics? Big data means you're going to be using Hadoop or the Spark to store your data. You're going to be using a Power BI to perform your analytics, right? So that is a big data is going to be storing your data. BI means Power BI we're going to be using here to connect to the big data Spark and perform lot of analytics. Clear? And what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, AI, means planning for the, it is a prediction. Okay. Future prediction. Simply you say, predict the future. Okay. So somebody asks you, both of them are not same. It is understanding the past. It is predicting the future. I wanted to know what will be my sales in next 5 years. Amazon company wanted to predict something. So how prediction is going to be done with the help of AI? Lot of algorithms you can use data more, artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms, clusterings, classification, right? Regression. Lot of algorithms can be used, machine learning algorithms, and completely we are going to be doing a lot of predictions. So I have given one example, whether Hyderabad is going to get rains in the next June or not, you would like to predict. So current trends you have, but I would like to know next 10 years, how is the rainfall in Hyderabad? How do you predict? You supply historical data of Hyderabad, rainfall data. Using the data, it is going to be predicting whether you have a rainfall next 5 years in Hyderabad or not. So predictions are going to be done with the help of AI. AI also gets the data from files, SQL data warehousing, or Hadoop or the Spark. Now today, we don't have AI. So today we are talking about one more Gen AI. Okay. We are today talking about a Gen AI. Normal AI is going to be working with a predictions. Gen AI, okay, instead of a prediction, it is going to be working on the generating. It is not going to predict anything, which is going to be generating what? Either text or sound, audio or video, which is not going to be predicting anything. So your chat GPT application, your Gemini application, any application we're talking about it today, Gen AI is a current trend. It is launched in 2018, right? AI is launched in 1950s. Okay. It does not have the data. It does not have enough data. Even though it is launched in 1950, it did not do anything. After year 2000, because of a big data era is started, so we are able to get so much of a data, and we are able to give so much of a data to the AI. AI needs a large amount of data. Earlier, we don't have anything to store. Even though we had a data warehouse, it cannot give you large amount of data plus unstructured, semi-structured data it cannot store. So that is the reason, even though we had 1950s AI was there, it was not so popular because year 2000, we are accumulating so much of a data. Slowly, AI also started working simultaneously. Clear? So that is the reason today so much of a data AI is getting, or Gen AI is getting, not from the data warehouse, not from SQL Server. So this data today, this guy is getting this AI data we're talking about here. So today, lot of applications are storing data in Apache Spark. Nowadays, you could think about it is maybe some 500 petabyte of data. Okay, this data is similar to 1,000 Himalayas size. If you take the data, cut into DVDs and arrange them in a stack. So what is the data we're talking about? 1,000 Himalayas the size of the data. Now Hadoop and Spark is going to be storing. And this kind of a data today we are going to be providing to your AI applications. And AI application is going to go and get this much. So today, every second or every minute or every day, it is going to be processing 13 million transactions. So who's going to be processing? Your chat GPT. Now see how quickly this much of a data being processed by the Apache Spark and Hadoop, and how they're able to create a chat GPT kind of an applications. Clear? So this is what is the importance of the data. So only these four technologies are available to store and retrieve the data. All of them are the tanks. Tank number one is a file. Tank number two is bigger file, a drum. That is equal. You have a bigger tanker, the 10,000 liter capacity tanker is data warehouse. You have reservoir, that is your Hadoop or the Spark. All of them are tanks or the reservoirs only, but size is important, right? So depends upon the size. the IT industry is going to be storing your data. And remember, it is not going to be, easy. So if you wanted to run your AI or BI application, somebody has to get the data, collect the data, store the data, process the data. Who's going to be doing? That guy is called data engineer. Clear? So data engineer is the guy who's going to be working with all these technologies. So you may be having data in the files, you may be having data in the SQL and RDBMS. You may be working with the data warehousing, or after year 2000, we are going to be working with Apache Hadoop and Apache Spark. It is launched in 2006. Within 3 years, they have got a lot of feedback, negative feedback to Apache company. They have released Apache Spark. Clear? So on this data, two applications are going to work, AI and BI. Remember, BI cannot be replaced with AI. That is also one more thing. AI is replacing everybody, but AI or BI, both of them are two legs. You cannot going to replace the left leg with the right leg with the left leg, right? So AI cannot replace one technology, that is what is called BI, or AI cannot replace one more technology, that is data engineering technology also, because AI needs data. So people who are working data oriented technology like BI or AI or probably data engineer. Data engineers means who's going to be getting the data and storing the data in this file. Normally, we don't learn files, but you should know SQL, data warehousing, Hadoop, and the Spark, so that you can become a data engineer. So, and you need to have Python knowledge. Clear? So, Python knowledge is required, SQL knowledge is required. SQL minimum 30 to 50 to 60 hours of knowledge. I'm going to be giving data warehousing 10 hours, right? Apache Spark and Hadoop is going to be minimum. It is going to be taking much more time, 50 hours, and a Python 30 hours. Okay, this is the complete syllabus that you need to know. Azure we are going to be using because many people are migrating from on-premises to Azure. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. So AI, BI cannot be replacing with the AI. So this is what you need to know. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. When you have so small amount of data, we can store all the data in the files. We can store and process. When you have millions of data or GBs of data, use RDBMS. So RDBMS like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, Teradata. This is a free software. You cannot get very good, what do you say, support from MySQL because it is a free. The company will not support. But if you want to need a software and if you need a proper support, Oracle SQL Server, you can get the licenses. Microsoft can give you support. If you have any issues with the data storing and retrieving, you can go in for this. These are RDBMS. Then data warehousing, we can only store the data with large hardware. For the processing purpose, we use BA tools and everything. But later on, the after year 2000, so we got a big data and Apache Software Foundation. It is a free charitable organization which is really giving you a software called Apache Hadoop. So here are two things we can do. One is called storing and processing. Everywhere, two things you need to do. Earlier, we were storing and processing in Excel itself, right? But later on, we were using languages for processing. And after that, people said, so much of a data, I don't want to code. I need without coding tools to create a lot of coding and everything. It means a lot of softwares like Power BI, MS BI, BA softwares to process this data, create a lot of charts and everything, right? But after year 2000, so because of big data, Apache Hadoop is released free software. It is going to be storing. For the storing purpose, it is going to be giving you HDFS. What is HDFS? Hadoop distributed file system. It is also one more file system. However, you have Windows file system. You can go to C drive. You can create a folder. Within the folder, for example, my folder name is called some data new. I wanted to go create one file. What is the file I'm going to be creating? Any file. So I will be able to go create one textual file or employee file. I would like to open and create store lot of data here. So how do you store using a file like that? It is also giving you one environment. So the environment is called as Hadoop distributed file system. So this is also file, but which is going to be distributed. What is a distributed? We'll discuss later. But end of the day, file means which is going to be stored in the hard disk only. But how do you process? So MapReduce was the algorithm given. It is a Java-based program, more complex Java programs you have to write. So because if you store any data into the disk, it will become slow. That is one thing. We're talking about big data. On that too, all the data will be stored permanently into the hard disk with the help of HDFS. And Java, I should learn. It is slow because of hard disk. It is complex. Many people have given feedback, negative feedback within 3 years. Within 3 years, Apache organization has released Apache Spark. They said you don't use disk, you better store the data into the RAM. Clear? Now Apache Spark is going to be putting all the data into the RAM. Now Java you need not use. It has given a language called Scala. It is very, very easy language. When you install Spark, automatically this language, a new language implemented. So we are going to be learning, but everybody is asking. So Scala is okay, but everybody wanted to use Python today. Even Python is also given. So Python plus Spark is going to be called as a PySpark, and SQL you can use. Even Java also you can write, right? Anything you can use. Spark is the software. Inside that, we're going to be using a Python program. It is called as a Spark SQL, or people calling that iSpark. So if you learn big data environment, we are going to be learning a Python, not a Scala. I'm not going to teach Scala, but I'll give you Difference between Scala and Python. Both of them are easy, dead easy. Even though you don't know Python very well, still you will be able to go and write the PySpark programs. Clear? PySpark is where big data. Two things we're going to be doing. One is called storing the data. Where are you storing the data? In the RAM. That is the reason Apache Spark is going to be very faster. Okay. So very faster. That is what is released in 2009. But what is the problem with this? It is a free software. Okay. What is the problem with the free software? This is also free software. So what is the problem? If you install MySQL, or if you install any software in your company, if you get any error, this company, MySQL company, will not give you any support. That is the biggest issue. Now, Apache company is going to be giving you a lot of softwares for free. But do you think that if you install Apache Hadoop or Apache Spark and you're loading so much of a data, you get a technical issue tomorrow? Whom to contact? You need to ask Apache Spark only. But Apache Spark is least bothered to give you a reply, because they're only building the number one software. You have to download freely and try to use on your own. But if you get an issue, Apache Spark company is not going to give you any support. So this is the gap. One more company identified. The company called Databricks is started by Dr. Ali in 2012. Bricks, Dr. Ali was part of Apache Hadoop team, part of Apache Spark team. This guy identified, okay, many people are coming and asking, hey Spark, can you give me the support? Now Apache Spark, no, 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 no. We give you software for free. You install and try to use it. But what we cannot give you, we cannot give you a support. Now, Dr. Ali from Spark team and with friends came out in 2012. They have created one more software called Databricks. Now, Databricks is a paid software. What is it is going to be doing? If you wanted to store large amount of data, you can directly go get some hardware. You can install, you can buy hardware, and you can install Apache Spark here, Apache Spark here, Apache Spark here, and you try to maintain. But tomorrow, if the problem comes, this guy do not know what to do. Okay, you can install Apache Spark, but now Databricks is saying you don't install. You come to us. You can come to us. We will give you hardware. Okay, we will give you same software. In same software we're going to be installing, but who's going to be installing? This guy will be doing it. Databricks company will be giving. If you get any problem, you will be able to ask me. So Databricks is not going to do anything. Is a broker or an agent. Okay. So at the end of the day, you're going to be installing Apache Spark. Databricks only is going to be giving you support. Let me give you one simple example. I wanted to conduct my son wedding. What is that? I would like to conduct son wedding. So wedding party I'm going to be planning. So what I need to do? I need to go and book some hotel or the function hall. I want to go and have the catering. I wanted to have, to book all the hotel rooms and everything. And camera I wanted to take. And I wanted to go and arrange, flower decoration and everything. So everything I need to do, and it will be big pain. Either my son or me and my son, both of them doing together. All of them we need to do it. It will be very big risk. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to go to one event management company. So I'll go to one agent. So that is event management company. I will go, I will talk to them. So there is a wedding for my son. They'll say, don't go, sir, you give it to me. We will again do the same activity for you. So it will be one point of account. It will give you big support. So this agent is your data bricks. End of the day, you have to go to book hall, you need to go to catering, everything. They're also doing same thing. But what is that? You don't have any headache. If there is a problem, you call this agent. So this agent will give you a support and it is less pain. So what is the data bricks? Data bricks is a software that is going to be giving you some common platform. Databricks is going to be taking care of installing your Apache Spark. Databricks is going to be giving you a common software to write your code. So you may write Scala code, you can write it in Databricks. You can write a Python code, Java code. Different UIs are not there. Only one UI, simplified UI and configurations, maintenance. If you get issues, if you have any kind of an issues, Databricks team is going to be supporting. What is the Databricks now? Databricks is a big data software. Clear? But end of the day, Apache Spark or Hadoop is going to be installed here. Clear? That is what you got to understand. Now, from where should I take the hardware? Either you buy own hardware or you can get the hardware for a rental. So what are the hardware companies for rental? So we have a company called AWS company, Amazon Web Services. What is this? It is a cloud. Cloud means what? It is a rental hardware software. So lot of hardwares if I wanted to use, Databricks can go get the hardware from AWS and install Databricks here. Databricks means Apache Spark. Then it will become AWS Databricks, or it can go to Azure company. Azure company also giving you hardware software for rental. So you can go to Azure and get rental hardware, install Apache Spark, then it will become Azure Databricks. And tomorrow, instead of you're having own hardware, you can go to Google Cloud Platform, get a lot of hardware for the rental, and this Databricks is going to be installing Apache Spark. This will become, Google Cloud Databricks. So Databricks is going to be a software, a broker software, agent software, big data software invented by the team of Dr. Ali and others. This Dr. Ali came from Apache Spark and launched in 2012. Did you understand what is the Databricks? What is a big data? And why Hadoop has failed? I have discussed. And if you have any questions, you can continue to ask me now. It is 100 times faster because Spark is going to be storing your data into the RAM. Hadoop is going to be storing your data into the hard disk and more complex. That is the reason Hadoop is failed. And today we are going to use Apache Spark. You can use, or you can also simply use Azure Databricks. It is the agent software, middleman software to install and store your large amount of data. Are you clear, guys? Tomorrow I'll talk about what is a cloud and all. Hope you have understood clearly, right? So 1920, you got this, computers invented, and binary language, C language, A language got 1940, 1950. Then advanced C, Java, Python invented in 1991, 2000 a .NET, 2003, you have big data is launched. Okay, so big data era is started. 2006, what is launched? Hadoop. Okay, and 2009, what is launched? Spark. So 2012, what is launched? Your uh, data bricks, paid software. It is not a free, which is a paid one. So Hadoop and Spark free one. Now 2018, okay, 2014, we have AI and deep learning. And 2018, we have today, what do you say, Gen AI. 2025, we are talking about agentic AI, right? So deep learning is here. So when is data science AI is launched in 1950s? So here only we have AI is launched, AI and machine learning. Clear? So this was the complete history about our computer industry, IT industry. Now, if you have any questions, you should be able to ask me, guys. And tomorrow we'll continue what is a cloud and what is on-premises, and lot of other things we'll discuss. So data analytics means understanding the past. Data science means what? EA and ML. Data engineering is the guy who's going to be collecting, cleaning, storing the data. And with the help of SQL data warehousing, so Python, only 30 days of Python is required, so you will be able to work with the data engineering team. Clear? So what is on-premises? What is the cloud? I'll be talking about in tomorrow's class. Hope you have enjoyed my class. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Today, we're talking about Gen AI. Gen AI needs an input. This input is called as a prompt. Okay, this input is called as a prompt. So there is a prompt engineering. So input, prompt engineering, so people are learning. So don't go into prompt engineering. So it is a digital marketing course. It is digital marketing guys are going to learn this course. You don't go and learn this course. Okay, digital marketing. Prompt means giving input. You will be able to get. Gen AI means it's going to be generating lot of text or maybe audio or maybe video. This kind of a content it is going to be generating, but normal AI means it's going to be doing predictions. Gen AI is not going to do any predictions. Gen AI is launched in year 2018. And the 2020 it has became so popular with Chat GPT and recently DeepSeek. Today, we're talking about agentic AI. Agentic AI is completely going to take decisions. So Chat GPT, Gen AI cannot take decisions. For example, when you go for the automatic cars, I want to apply a brake. I need to take a decision. So who's going to be taking the decision? Chat GPT cannot take a decision. Agentic AI is going to be taking the decisions. Lot of agents are going to be working it together. Agent is something different. Agentic AI is something different, which is going to be taking a lot of decisions. Okay. So in this AI, so a lot of agents are going to work together in your agentic AI. Agentic AI is going to be taking the decisions. Gen AI is going to be doing a lot of generating a lot of content, right? And your normal AI is going to be predicting. Clear? So today, entire industry is shifted towards Gen AI and agentic AI. Nobody is talking about AI for the predictions today. People were talking, but this is not the good focus today. Good focus is on Gen AI. So today, Gen AI is leading, but data engineers will get the double, triple opportunities in Gen AI world, because without data, even your Gen AI does not work. Clear, guys? So that is the use case I'm talking about. So if you have any questions, you will be able to ask me now. So tomorrow we'll continue with demo number two. In tomorrow's class, I'll talk about what is a cloud, what is on premises, and lot many things I'll be talking about in tomorrow's class. Any questions, guys? If you have any doubts, you will be able to ask me. Otherwise, I am good to go. So tomorrow I'll talk about some ETLs and other stuff, right? So people are talking about what is SSIS and what is SSAS. Even though we have SSIS and SSRS, that is only ETL tools. Now we are talking about not only ETL here, beyond. We are talking about big data. Okay, so ETL is only to get the data from one place to another place. But after that, how do you store the data? How do you process the data? And we are not talking about normal files here, right? Normal ETL is going to be working with the structured data. So Informatica SSIS was so popular, it can get structured data. And SSIS Informatica was created before cloud enters into the market. 2005, SSIS released. 2010, cloud got released. So SSIS cannot talk to the cloud and get the data. So limited data sources, Informatica, it cannot talk to the big data environments. That is one more issue with the existing ETLs. So that is the reason today we have a modern ETL. Azure Data Factory got invented. It can talk to big data environment, structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. All of them we're talking about, right? So we'll talk about all these things in tomorrow's class. Hope you have enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.